Hello, this is teddygaming here, and welcome back to another video. Recently, over the past few days, the new Rise of TMNT movie trailer has come out, and in doing so, that has sort of sparked a lot of conversation within the TMNT community for this movie and the TMNT in general. Now, I was going to break down the whole trailer, but when looking at this trailer multiple times and stuff like that to see if there was anything really worthy to break down in terms of like new details to spot and maybe I don't know, maybe tell some stuff about the story for this whole movie. I was looking at it and there wasn't really too much to really tell, except for one small little detail which I got feeling a lot of people sort of missed. And if people have seen it and sort of talking about it, then I haven't been in those communities, so maybe it isn't sort of a popular detail. But one thing which I did notice, and I mean, from what I can tell, a lot of people sort of skipped over this detail. And keep in mind, it is like a really small detail, but it is so major. But in one of the future scenes, we do see Leonardo with a new modified arm, which is Raphael's arm, and on his hand, we have blood. Well, I presume it's blood. If not, then this whole little detail is completely wrong. But even so, this is a very small minor detail, but still is really big. And oh my god, I can't believe that they put blood in a TMNT movie, let alone a cartoon, one for kids and stuff like that. So that is all around amazing. Now, I did want to make predictions on this movie in terms of what could happen with the story and stuff like that. However, as I was going through this trailer, there wasn't really too much to really predict in terms of what could happen with the story. I mean, other than just cases from the future, and he comes back in time to help the Turtles to prevent the Krang from destroying the world, that's really about it. There isn't really too much to really go over in terms of, what could happen, what could not happen, and stuff like that. So there isn't really too much to say here, really. Okay, so I was just editing the video and I noticed something that is maybe a bit small, and it's only for about a second or two, and it's quite interesting, and it's maybe opening up something for the future in terms of possibility for the story. And in this one scene, we see Leonardo looking up to the sky, and there's an orange portal, and I'm starting to wonder if Leonardo has travelled to the future, or is going to travel to the future in this movie. And the reason for it is just because we do see earlier in the trailer that Mikey opens up the time travel portal for Casey to go through the portal to go back and save everyone from this future. And it is almost identical to Mikey's portal with Leo's portal. So I'm wondering if he's going to go to the future, see what's going on, see what to prevent it. Maybe even he goes back in time to try and travel and prevent things from going wrong. Yeah, I just realised this while editing it. I'm quite surprised I didn't see this earlier. And wow, could this be a major plot reveal? And could maybe be something big for the future? Or maybe the Turtles lose, or everyone dies? What is happening here? Have I found something really major out? Yeah, I just thought I could just edit that in. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting movie. After looking at this evidence, I must admit, looking back at this trailer, it really shows that maybe this theory of Leo going to the future may actually be possible. And there may actually be a few things backing this up, sadly. And I didn't actually really think about this until now, only until after editing the video. And there are like a few scenes which I will say that maybe hint towards Leo going to the future, as well as maybe a bit before that. So the first thing is Leo comes into this little robot device thing where all the other characters are really shocked by his appearance. And I feel like maybe this might be after he come back from the future and he knows some information about how to stop the Krang, or maybe he's just horrified for all the things that he's just witnessed. I mean, if you went to a future like that, then yeah, you would be like that. I must admit, I also do think that the Turtles are going to go to the Technodrome or space thing in the sky, and then maybe the Krang or whoever the villain is going to kill all of them. And in that one scene where he punches Leonardo, he's going to do that, and then that's when he goes to the floor crying and feel like everyone's dead and everything like that. That's when he opens the portal, and then he goes to the future. And now really thinking about it and looking at the trailer, it just really seems like everything is really pointing in this direction that maybe, oh shit, yes, he's gonna go to the future and all this is gonna happen. I did not really think of this when watching the trailer, but looking at the trailer now and editing it, yeah, maybe there may be some stuff in here that could potentially point towards this sort of stuff. I'm not too sure if anyone really thinks this, and if you are watching this video now, are you wondering the same thing as me, or am I going a little bit nuts by this little theory? But I do want to go over a few small predictions that may turn into something bigger, and I feel like it still is something we should probably talk about it in a way. Now, the first one is Casey Jones. So, lots of people are a little bit disappointed, or in some cases really disappointed, because at the end of Season 2 we got introduced to Cassandra Jones, who is also known as Casey Jones. If we're going to go and change Casey just for this movie, then I feel like it's a really missed opportunity to have Casey or Cassandra not interact with the turtles how just how Casey Jones normally would, and not to even fight Foot Clan, Pearl Dragons, nothing like that. So I feel like it's a missed opportunity. Now, some people are saying that maybe Cassandra Jones could potentially be the future version of Casey Jones and stuff like that, or even maybe Cassandra Jones, or maybe Casey Jones is Cassandra Jones' son or something like that. So I've got a feeling that maybe this could potentially work. I'll say it's a 50-50 option in terms of maybe Cassandra maybe changing gender to being Casey Jones, or even maybe Casey Jones is a descendant from Cassandra. I'll say it's a 50-50 option, but I feel like either way it won't really ruin the movie too much, but I still feel like they should have gone with Cassandra Jones no matter what, but well, here we are. Now, next thing which I would like to go over is the people who could potentially die within this movie. Now, this is going to be quite hard just because it's got a thing that they don't really want to kill off too many characters. After all, this is a kids movie. But with that being said, I feel like we should start placing bets on who could die and who will most likely die. So the first one which I would like to say is Casey Jones. Now, if you know anything about time travel and stuff like that, with terms of the character going back from the future to the past, trying to prevent things, then you know that the character will most likely die just because they change the timeline. I got a feeling that this will most likely happen for Casey Jones just because of timeline stuff and time travel shenanigans and stuff like that. And I do feel like if they do change this around, just be for the movie, so that he never dies or goes back in time to his future, I feel like they're ruining the time travel aspects of the movie. So I would say that he has a very high chance of dying. Okay, so I feel like the next people who are gonna die or have a very high chance of dying is the villains. So the species of aliens, because I don't really think they're actually the Krang. I feel like maybe there might be something else. There's a alien race that is going, or maybe using the Krang as a religion sort of thing. So I don't know, I feel like they have a really high chance of dying as well, or at the very least going back to their own dimension, but I feel like they will probably die. Now, the Foot Clan is also another group of people which I'll definitely have to say will definitely die. I mean, the Foot Ninjas are made out of paper, so they're definitely dead. But in terms of the Foot Elite, I think it's called, or the people in charge, I got a feeling that they will most likely die as, I feel like if they're gonna get taken over by the new alien race, I feel like they don't really have much of a chance of surviving, and I don't really see them doing too much with these characters beyond getting the alien and then it removing from them. So I feel like they're probably just one and done sort of villains now, and this character will not be around anymore within this universe. Okay, now I feel like we should probably talk about the heroes, and this is also something which I don't really want to talk about just because this is honestly quite dark, and if any of these do come true, then I'm gonna be so shocked. I wouldn't really know where to begin with it, because again, I don't want any of these characters to die, but at the same time, with it giving me so many vibes of other versions of TMNT in terms of darkness, in terms of Same As Never Was or The Last Ronin, then I feel like maybe we might have to look and see who could potentially die. Now, the first character I have on my list is Splinter. And I feel like maybe the main reason why is because he is an old character. In terms of, I'm not talking about he's been around since the early days of Tales. I'm talking about his character in general. He's 40-something. So it would make sense for him to maybe sacrifice himself for the family, or just something like that in general. And also, not to mention, we don't see him in the future, so he definitely does die at some point within this universe's timeline. But I don't know if we're gonna see his death in this movie. I'll say there is like a likely chance, just because like with most recent projects and everything, whenever they get to like near the end of their run or anything like that, they normally do kill him off as like an impactful way for the viewers and all that. And if this is gonna be the last like ever media with like Rise of TMNT, then I would have to say that it does really, like, there's a lot of evidence that maybe points towards him dying, but at the same time, I got a feeling that maybe he might not. I feel like his death is almost like a 50-50, but I'm not too sure whether he would die or not, because there is so much evidence in terms of like the most recent properties like Film 12, IW, they've all killed him off, and well, maybe they might do the same, and I'm just not too sure if they will or not, so it's a 50-50 with him, I'd say. Next up we have April, and I got a feeling that she won't die. However, we do see in the trailer that Casey Jones does call her Commander April. However, in the trailer, we never see April in the future, so there's like a 50-50 with her. But again, I have to say that her character is very, very unlikely in terms of dying, because she's like a very prominent member of the group, and I just don't think she'll die because she has like potential to do stuff. I mean, even in the season 2 finale, she was able to get more hits on Shredder than the actual Turtles, or like, at least Donnie. So she definitely has more of a chance of surviving. But with the future stuff, maybe. But at the same time, I mean, like, future April might be a different like topic sort of thing. But like, at the same time, I feel like future April is probably dead. And if you do see future April's death, that's a different thing. But I know that's sort of unlikely. Okay, next up we have Donatello, and even though in the future we don't see him in the trailer, but we do have some evidence that point towards his death in terms of Leonardo having his bandana around his arm, and then I feel like at one point people point out that his belt was on Leo as well, so there is a lot of evidence to really say that, yeah, Donnie is dead in the future. However, that does not mean that he's dead in the present. So, will he die in this movie? I don't think so. I feel like he has a very strong chance of surviving, and considering that most of the time within this trailer, we do see a lot of Donatello, so he has a very high chance of surviving, but at the same time, he is a turtle, and also one of the main characters, so again, he has also another like plot device armor type thing to really help him get through this movie. Now, Raphael, on the other hand, oh boy, it's hard to say really, because I feel like all the evidence that I have with Donatello also goes with Raphael, as there is just so much evidence to point that in the future he is definitely dead, or at the very least missing. But at the same time, with the future or like present day stuff, he isn't really seen that often, really. I mean, from besides like a few shots with the team, in the like beginning part of the movie, I'd say he's not really seen throughout the rest of the trailer or the movie with the others. So, maybe there might be a chance of him dying, but at the same time, we do have a scene that probably looks like it's going to be near the end that shows that he's probably going to survive. So again, yeah, he's probably going to survive, but at the same time, with future stuff, I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe they do sort of experiment or like even like tease the viewer with maybe, oh, Raph could die because of future stuff like that. Okay, so the next two, we got Leo and Mikey, and I'm just going to say this now, just quickly get it over and done with, because we know that in the future they are alive. So the present day Mikey and Leo, they definitely survived and all that, so they definitely got plot device, plot armor, everything you really want to say about them. They are definitely surviving. However, I feel like with these two characters in particular, I want to talk about their future selves, because I feel like those future selves are more interesting than the normal versions. So the first one, we've got Mikey, who has portal powers for some reason now, which is really cool and all. But at the same time, will he die, will he not? I feel like this also goes with Leo as well. I feel like maybe the future versions of these characters will die. I don't want that to happen because I feel like these two particular versions of the characters do look really interesting and amazing, and has so much potential in terms of story, what it could do, what it could not do. There is so much potential with these characters, but at the same time, because it's in the future, where basically it's not set in stone, I would say at the same time that maybe these versions will die, and if they do die, then we probably won't see it on screen, but yikes, yeah, this video took a real deep, dark turn. Not really meant for this whole video to be so dark. Yeah. I really did want to do some more predictions on this movie, but when looking at this trailer, there's not really too much to really look at or even predict. Yeah, it doesn't really give too much away. It's just action and fighting, which I love, but at the same time, I wish there was a bit more to the story. So yeah, I do want to know what you guys have to say about this movie. Are you looking forward to it? Are you not? Do you have any predictions about it? Who do you think will die? Who do you not think will die? Do you have any predictions about the story? Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you do love this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.